Curse of the Creative is a radio promotions podcast for people with ears. And so if you have ears, you've come to the right place. What we do is we are the creatives at Ultimate Media. We come up with radio concepts for all sorts of clients, but you can take our ideas and our thinking and apply it to whatever you're doing on your radio station, whether you be a big commercial radio station, a small community station, maybe a campus radio station, maybe a mall station. You know, some malls have radio stations in some countries. Maybe you work for one of those. You want to come up with some cool ideas. Don't have the time or the capacity. You just pop this podcast in to your podcast deck tape. What do people play podcasts out of? Maybe I've been too analog. And what we do is we take 2 minutes. I'm very generous. In this season, we take 2 minutes. We pitch each other an idea, and then we either flight, park, or flush the idea. Flushes are bad. Flights are good. Parks are kind of like... I'd rather be flushed. I'd rather be flushed, actually. Bongani, would you rather have a park or a flush? Because what are you feeling? What are you feeling? I'd rather be flushed than parked.
I think I would like to run away from being the king of parks. So a flush would work better for me.
Yeah, I think you just get flushed. Fiefs, parking's just so like, it feels like, oh, let's just be friends. It's like a just let's be friends concept.
Look, I think it is better than a flush. It's something that can be worked on.
You think so?
There's something there.
I suppose.
It's better than it's absolute rubbish.
I suppose, look, I spend a lot of time in the toilet, so, the sound of a flushing toilet is very satisfying for me. It feels like a job is done. It feels like I've done well.
Father, we need
Fiefs, over the past few weeks, we've heard from everyone. I'm going to put you in the hot seat first. So are you cozy? Are you cozy? Are you comfortable?
I'm good.
All right. Your 1 minute starts now.
Not two.
It's 2. Okay, fine. 2. It's starting. You're wasting time. You're burning daylight.
Anywho, so this could be like a CSI project for like a beverage company, where, they care for the environment and recycling is important and everybody needs to play their part. So maybe like if it's Castle Milk Stout, you collect the caps of the ngutus. And then maybe this competition runs for a couple of months in a station. The listeners will then collect caps. If it's Coca-Cola caps, that's what they're doing. But the goal is to collect as many caps as you can. And at the end of the campaign, you either win a very big cash prize or an international trip or something like that. And then that brand can then take those caps off of you and go recycle them. And it's a beautiful CSI project for them where everybody's a winner. We're saving the environment and the listeners get something out of it. Boom.
So basically like a big kind of cleanup idea.
Yes.
Bongani?
Still thinking, hey? Still thinking. It is a good CSI project. And... you know what? Let's just flight it. It does work.
Yep.
It does work. You can include your social media, website, TikTok. I see it
There's
working.
So much you can do with it.
Yeah. Flying it.
I'm on that flight with Bongani. What I like about cleanup, any sort of cleanup concept, and you're right, it could be CSI, it could be a station initiative. So you could, instead of doing it like over a long term, you're just going like this weekend, we're doing a cleanup. I think what it really taps into is that, radio is always on a quest looking for new listeners. And of course, everyone's now after Gen Zs, right? And Gen Zs are coming into the workforce and they're becoming, spenders and decision makers. And I think radio stations want them. And what Gen Z wants is they want businesses that they support to be sustainable. So if you as a radio station are going, listen, this is our bit and this is our partners and our sponsors and our advertisers' bit to do good for the environment in particular, then I think that's a great way to building that resonance with people beyond stuff that's like DJ chatter and music. Because now you're going, hey, I care for the city around me. And we all live in Johannesburg, and I think we kind of see Johannesburg as becoming a bit of a dump at the moment. And stations, I feel, Bongani, should be stepping up and going, like, let's stop complaining about what the city looks like. Let's get our citizens and our listeners out there and do a bit of a cleanup, right?
I mean, true, Mr. P. And for those who are not closer to stations to be able to transport those cabs, I mean, we can ask them to create something creative, create a bottle, create, a house using those bottle caps.
I mean, that's really cool.
It can morph into many, many things, but it's a very, like, makes your heart feel good. It's good for the brand. It's good for the station if it's a station thing. It's just a feel-good exercise that really, I think, puts a brand in people's mouths.
I think it also opens up conversations around things we see around us all day. I mean, you guys, obviously what's big is wastepreneurs. You know, we kind of look, bin diggers, but no, these guys are not. That is a legitimate way these guys are making money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys ever watched that documentary about the I don't know what they call them, but they're called the street surfers, of these guys who have these massive elaborate trolleys and go around collecting recycling.
Yeah.
And this guy went and spent some time with them.
Bags.
Yeah. So it's a great idea. I think there's a lot into it. I think if you're a station that wants to plug in and connect with your community, the easiest and most simplest way is this Saturday, put on a cap, put on some sunscreen, we're going to go clean up something. And that just resonates with everybody.
If a station doesn't pick this up, I don't know. They're stupid on the job.
You know what? You know what the problem is, Fiefs? Radio people don't listen to podcasts, which I think may be the biggest flaw in our strategy.
Oh, yeah.
This is Curse of the Creative. God, I hope you're listening.
Yeah.